So we'll be covering network diagram in this video. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe it now because there are many important videos which will help you to understand the PMP in depth, and logical explanation is provided in all the lectures, and this will help you to pass the PMP exam because every video has the PMP exam tips and important topics. So this will help you to pass the PMP exam in 2020. Network diagram is most important area and there are many questions related to network diagram. Before making a network diagram, let me show you from where we are getting the network diagram. High level project scope is provided in the project charter, and then based on that we develop the project scope in a planning process, in the scope planning process. The project scope is again subdivided into work breakdown structure. Through work breakdown structure we are getting the work packages. There are multiple work packages, and work package is then again decomposed into the activities. So we can have multiple activities. In this case, for example, there are 3 activities. So to understand in a better way, there is a project. Project is divided into various decomposed into work packages. So these can be, this is the work breakdown structure. So then each work breakdown structure is divided into subdivided, and then last value we are getting the work package. Then this work package, this particular work package has the 3 activities. So these are 3 activities. Let us move further and we see that how the activities are there. For example, a specific project has got these A, B, C, D and E activities. Now these activities has to be sequenced. Why these has to be sequenced? Because for example, this particular activity A, this is A, this is for example the landscaping work, this is the cleanliness of land, and this happens after B, this happens after C. So we have to sequence those activities. All these activities has to be sequenced. For example, A comes first, then B comes first, then C, D, and the last activity is E. Now let us see with an example that how we have to sequence those activities. So sequencing activity is one of the planning process of project scope management. And why we are doing these activities? Because we need to estimate the duration. So after sequencing the activities, each activity must be having the early start and late start date, early finish and late finish date. This is how you are assigning the early start, early finish, late start and late finish dates to a particular activity, and activity name is inside the node. Let us create a network diagram now. As I told you that I'll be explaining in a logical way how to pass the PMP exam. So suppose I have a project and this particular project has various activities. First of all, first activity is survey of land. So for example, we are creating a garden, a public garden. So for that particular activity, that particular project, we have divided that garden area is in fact one of the work package which has been assigned to our company. So this is a public park, but in public park only the garden area is available to us. So that garden area is a work package which is available, which is assigned to our company, and our company is now making a garden. So before starting the work, first activity is survey of land, which will take 2 weeks. This is how we can see in this particular activity list. The activity list is provided to us. Second activity is landscape design, which will be done once the survey of land is completed. So after survey of land is completed, then we can do the landscape design, which will again take 3 days, 3 weeks. So purchase of equipment has to be started after the landscape design is completed, and then leveling of land and soil has to be done once this particular activity, landscape design, is done and purchase of equipment is done. These both are dependent on leveling of land is dependent on B and C. So it will take 3 weeks again. Now another activity is that identify water sprinkler location. So to identify that, we need to have the landscape design. So once the landscape design is completed, as you can see here, B is E is dependent on B, which means that landscape design has to complete to identify this particular, to start this particular activity. And then we have to dig trenches and install pipes. So when it can be done, once the sprinkler location is identified and once the this particular leveling of land and soil is done, then only we can do this particular activity. Then is plant grass, shrubs and flowers. So this is the gardening work which has to start, and this will be dependent on F, because we will first do all these pipings and everything, and then this particular activity will start, and the duration is accordingly assigned here. And then install fences. So fences has to be installed, which is dependent on this particular activity. So once we complete the gardening work, then we have to install the fence. Once the fence is installed, then we have to install the bricks for walkway. So the walkway inside the garden has to be done after that. And once this is done, final inspection will be done. So final inspection will be done only once the fence and bricks walkway is completed. So we cannot have the final inspection done at this stage or at this stage. And once the final inspection is done, after that we will have the project handover. So which is activity K, it is handover. So it is again going to take 2 days. So 1 day, 1 week. Or we can say it, because the duration is not mentioned whether it is days or month, so we can mention it is days. Now we want to know how many days this particular work package is going to take. For our company, this is a project. For a bigger project, this is a work package, but for our company, this particular project work package is a project. So we need to know how many days this particular project is going to take. We cannot simply add these activities like 2 plus 3 plus 2. We cannot simply add and get to know that how many days it is going to take. So we have to first of all sequence these activities and find the path. So I have now taken this particular activity list here, and particular activity list already shows that how many days it is going to take. So I have removed the description here so that you can refer all the times. If you want to see, just pause the video and go back and see what was the activity description here. So we have taken only the activity name and which activity it depends on and how many days it is going to take. So first of all, as you can see, first activity is activity A. So we have taken activity A here. Now activity B we are going to take. So activity B starts after activity A. So it depends on activity A. Alright. So then activity C starts. If you see, activity C is dependent on activity B. So it is dependent on activity B. And then activity D starts. It depends on activity B and activity C. Now we will move further, activity E, which only depends on activity B, and then activity F, which depends on D and E. Alright, and then activity G, which starts after F, and then activity I, H, which starts after G, and then activity I, which starts after activity H, and activity J starts after I and H together. So once these two activities are completed, as we have seen in the previous slide, that how these two activities, this was the fencing and this was the walkway. So once these two are completed, then we can go for the final inspection, and this is the handover. So J is the inspection and K is the handover. Now let us assign the duration to all these activities. So duration has been calculated. Activity duration estimate techniques has been used. So we are not going to estimate the activities here because there is a method to do that. You can always refer back to my previous videos which will explain you how to do that. But we have now calculated the activities, that how much time it's going to take to survey the land, to do the trenching and flower work, to do the gardening work, to do the to create the fence, to make the walkways. So everything is already calculated. So we are just going to now assign these duration to these activities. So 2 days, activity A is taking 2 days, activity B 3 days. So like this, I am assigning the days to all these activities. Now the days has been assigned to all activities. Now let us see how many paths are there. If you see, this is one path. If you move here, this is first path, and then this particular path is second path, then this particular path is third path, and then this particular path is fourth part, and then this particular path is fifth part. So there are total 5 paths in this particular project. So once we have sequenced the activities, assigned the duration to it, we can see there are 5 paths now. So first path, you can see I have marked it like this, and second path is because of this B and D, H and J. Now if I calculate the first path, the duration of first path is 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. So this way we have got these many days, 23. Now the second path, as you can see, second path is this one. So from B, D, and then this way. So you can stop the video and write it on paper and see how the path is seen. The way actually I have shown you how the path is located, and after that you write down all the duration, and then you will be able to see how many paths are there. So third path is taking 19 days, which is like this. Now fourth path, this particular path is there. Now this path is there. This is taking 19 days. And the last path, which is fifth path, it is here, this one. So it is taking 17 days. Now from this particular method, so you need to see what is the critical path. So it is called CPM, which means critical path method. So critical path means that we cannot compromise on any activity, delay in any activity in this critical path. But what is the critical path? Is this one, this one, this one, or this one? So you have to remember that the maximum value of critical path, maximum value of any path is the critical path. So whatever path is having maximum value or maximum duration, it is the critical path. So it means that project is going to take 23 days at least to complete. So we cannot compromise on any activity in this particular path. Now if you see, which path is this? Critical path is this one. So so we have removed all this. So our critical path is this one, and here is this critical path. So if you see, in this path, whatever activities are there, we cannot compromise on them. So this path is path 1, and total duration of this project is 23 days. So if you have any comments, if you need any further guidance, you can always come back to me. You can always send me the details of what where exactly you are stuck, so I can help you to uh, prepare for the PMP exam using next tutorials. Thank you so much. Goodbye.